Welcome to eTeacher Pakistan webinar series. eTeacher Pakistan webinar series is an initiative under the eTeacher Plus for Pakistan program. This program provides professional development opportunities to English language teachers and learners across Pakistan. These opportunities are provided through global online courses, massive open online courses, webinar series, and then engaging the alumni into lots of alumni engagement activities. All the programming under the eTeacher Plus for Pakistan program is funded by the Regional English Language Office at the US Embassy Islamabad. In Pakistan, it is implemented by Evolution. If you wish to stay updated with the developments under the eTeacher Plus for Pakistan program and learn more about the Relo programming in the country, please follow them on Facebook. If you wish to stay updated with the eTeacher webinar series and other creative, innovative videos posted by Relo Pakistan, please follow them on YouTube. If you want to gain specific information about eTeacher Plus programming, please visit www.evolution.com.pk/eteacher. Today, as a part of eTeacher Pakistan webinar series 2.6, we will be talking about teaching English to young learners. To present on this topic, we have with us today Humaira Zafar. She is the senior teacher of English who is currently working in Islamabad Model School. She has gained her MPhil in American Studies, BA Honors in English Language and Literature, Bachelor's in Education, and got a diploma in TEFL. She was also one of the participants of the T program, Teaching Excellence and Achievement program, in which she got an opportunity to attend a 6 weeks professional development program in the United States. She is also the eTeacher alumna who has completed a global online course of teaching English to young learners that was offered by George Mason University in the United States. She has also completed a lot of MOOCs such as teaching grammar communicatively, TESOL methodology, English for media literacy, and using education technology in English language classrooms. So today, Humaira is going to share with you how you can make your classrooms more and more productive if you have young learners. So first of all, it is very important for you to learn the characteristics of young learners. So Humaira is going to take you on a journey in which will help you understand the needs, the characteristics, the attributes of your students. Apart from that, she will be unfolding some of the ways in which you can effectively engage your students into meaningful activities. Apart from that, Humaira is going to share with you some of the amazing activities that she learned from her course from George Mason University about teaching English to young learners in this webinar. So we are very much excited to know more about the content. So without any wait, I'm going to welcome Humaira to start the webinar.
Thank you, Sylvia ma'am, and thank you, Regional English Language Office and Evolution for this huge opportunity. The topic which I have selected for today's webinar is teaching English to young learners. This presentation is based on my learnings, which I gained from a global online course offered by George Mason University and sponsored by Regional English Language Office. Teaching English to young learners is a rapidly growing field all around the world because teaching English is increasingly found at primary levels. Young learners, they learn directly from their surroundings, not only from their peers, but also from adults. We should understand their needs and support them to learn a foreign language. As teachers, and especially as English teachers, it is our responsibility to know the needs and the characteristics of these young learners so that we implement successfully all the teaching strategies and approaches which are appropriate for these young learners. Now, the first thing which we will talk about is the characteristics of young learners. Young learners' age range is 7 to 12 years old, and the children who come under the age of 7 years, they are considered very young learners. Now, if you think about your students, about your young learners, I'm sure you can come up with all these characteristics which are mentioned here. Young learners, they are active, they are spontaneous, they are energetic, they can't sit still, they touches the things, they are kinesthetic learners, they are imaginative and curious. Now, as a teacher, if you see that your young learners are imaginative, then you are going to share with them fairy tales. You are going to show them animated cartoon movies. So in this way, you are going to help them to enhance their imagination. And if you see that your young learners, they are curious, you'll just simply take them out of your class and show them bugs, show them plants. Now, another thing which comes in the minds of the teacher is that the children of such age, they are easily distracted. They are short attention. They don't know how to involve themselves for a long time. So here it is a challenge for the teacher to develop activities with such a quick pace that the students can move from one activity to another activity without losing their interest. Remember all these characteristics of young learners. In this way, you are going to develop all the activities and teaching strategies which are developmentally appropriate for these young learners. Now next we will see how young learners learn. Here I am going to share with you some experts' point of view, like Jon Piaget, Lev Vygotsky, and Jerome Bruner. Jon Piaget helps us to understand that children, they are active learners and thinkers. They learn by interaction with the physical environment. Their knowledge derives from action. When you are in English language classroom, it is important to bring in realia, to bring the real objects in the class. For example, if you want to teach your students about toys, then bring the toys in the class. Let them have them. Let them play with the toys. In this way, they are going to learn by direct interaction with the real objects. Next is learning by social interaction. This idea was introduced by Vygotsky. Social interaction is very important for young learners. As young learners, when they are children, when they are very young, they actually learn to walk and talk by the guidance of their parents. But when they are in an English language classroom, it is responsibility of a teacher to engage students in such kind of activities that they interact. They interact not only with their peers, but with their teachers also. So social interaction is really very important for the young learners because they mostly depend on the teachers for their learning. Learning by scaffolding. Now, if you see what is scaffolding, like you can see the picture here, two men are standing on a frame. Basically, this frame is actually works as a foundation for a building. In the same way, a teacher in an English language classroom hold up the student and build their foundation by properly scaffolding the all the learning process of learning an English language. Here, this idea, learning by scaffolding, was introduced by Jerome Bruner, and Jerome Bruner has suggested certain steps which a teacher can follow to properly scaffold a lesson. First is create interest in the task. Your task should be very interesting and it should be according to the level of the young learners. It can be a song, it can be a game, it can be a story. Break your task into a smaller and achievable steps. Like I have already mentioned, these students, they have short attention spans. So it is very important to quickly move from one step to another step and achieve the results. Third is model expectations. Here, it is very important for the teacher to don't tell your students what to do, rather show them, demonstrate, model what you expect them to do. Remind students purpose of activity. This is also very important. Remind your students, tell them that what are they going to learn after this activity? What is the purpose of this activity? Sometimes it happens in the class, students, they stop working in the class. So here it is very important that you see that your task is enough interesting that the students may not lose their interest. Your task should be interesting enough. Break your task into smaller steps, model your expectations, and remind students of purpose of activity. I hope in this way, the students, they are not going to lose their interest. Next, we will see how young learners learn a foreign language. In our context, if we see, English language is not our native language. Same is the case with our students. So here it is very important for the teacher to create such kind of environment in the class so that the students, they have enough exposure for a foreign language. Teachers should adopt such kind of approach which is actually according to the characteristics of the students. It should be learning centered. Like Lynn Cameron describes as meaningful and interesting, require active participation from learners and will work with how children learn and what they are capable of learning. So whatever task you are going to do, it should be meaningful and interesting, and it should require active participation from learners. So it should be learning centered. Your young learners should participate in the task. It should be learning centered. It should be student centered, not teacher centered. Avoid grammatical explanation. Grammatical structures are the building blocks of any language. But in the class of young learners, avoid grammatical explanations. Rather, whatever you're going to give them as a task, it should be meaning focused. For example, share with them a story. In this way, the story is going to be meaning focused, and they are going to follow the grammatical structures as well in that story. Pronounce words clearly. Here it is very important for the teacher to speak slowly and naturally in the class so that the students can follow. Repeat and rephrase the sentences according to the needs of the students. Now, if students are not getting any difficult expression, you can use native language, but only when it is necessary. Otherwise, you can explain to them the difficult expression by using visuals, by using gestures, or by using realia. So here are a few steps which you can follow when you are teaching English or a foreign language to your young learners. Teachers are managers. Now we are going to talk about classroom management. It takes a lot of energy and patience to teach to young learners. Young learners, they misbehave sometime in the class because they are playful. They don't want to sit in their chair because they are bored. So here it is very important for the teacher to keep the attention of the students and to involve them in the learning process. Teachers, they are not only the managers of the lesson plan or the learning activity which is going on in the class. Rather, they are managers of students' behavior. They are managers of student use of native language. They are also going to manage their use of native language also. And they are responsible for the atmosphere in the class, students' behavior, and conflict with and among students. So here teacher is also manager to give the transition to the students so that they can revive their energy. Now I'm going to share with you some routines and some rules through which a teacher can actually manage the behavior of these young learners. It is very important in a class of young learners to establish routines because young learners, they are very good at following their routines, and in this way they know that what is expected of them, what are they going to do in the next moment of their class, and that they can easily follow the rules. In this way, it is going to create a a relaxed environment for the teachers as well, because students already know to follow the routines and rules. Here is a four-step routine which I'm going to share with you, which a teacher can use in their class. Like start class with a greeting. Like you see in the picture, a teacher is standing on the door, and the students, they are actually shaking hands with the teacher and maybe exchanging greetings. So you can also do this activity individually with your students. You can give them high five, you can give them hug, and you can exchange greetings with them like, hi, how are you, how was your day? So in this way, you are going to start your class. If your class is huge and there are a large number of students, then you are going to do this activity by singing a song or by funny movements. This way, students will feel welcomed by their teacher. Next is take attendance. Take attendance, here teacher can take attendance himself or herself, but if there is a mature enough student in the class, then you can also take help of the student as well. You can use this activity also as a language practice activity. You can say, is Sarah here in the class? And Sarah is going to respond according to the question, yes, ma'am, I'm here. And next thing, establish the day and date. Now, when the teacher is going to write the day and date on the board, ask from the student, what day is it? What date is it? In this way, they are going to know about the names of the weekdays and about the month and the year which is going on. Now present the objectives with SOBAD. SOBAD means students will be able to. Basically, here you are going to make aware your young learners that what is the objective of today's lesson. You are going to write the objective on the board and you are going to make your students to read aloud the objectives. For example, students will be able to talk about their family. So in this way, the students, they are mentally prepared that they are going to learn about their family, that how they should talk or how they are going to talk about their family. This is going to be their lesson today. All these routines, these are really helpful with the young learners to mentally prepare them for the next step, for the next moment in the class. Manage the pace of the class. Pace of the class, when I say here, I mean wait time. If a student asks a question from a student, if a teacher asks a question from a student, then give them some time to process. Give them some time to think about that question and answer the question in English language. As our students, they are not native speakers of English language. So 5 seconds of time, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, count the time in your mind and give the students some time to process the question and answer you in English language. It is not suitable for the teacher to quickly quickly answer the question and just move towards next students, because this is going to be embarrassing for the student. Manage the classroom climate. Now, if your students, they are working for a long time, they are copying sentences from whiteboard, they are maybe, they have been busy in drawing for a long time. So here you can just change your classroom climate by having 1-minute dance party, by singing their favorite songs, or by showing them a 1-minute video. So in this way, the students, they are going to get refreshed and they will do their task more enthusiastically. Manage the language used in the class. Whatever the activity is going on in the class, it should be in target language. Discourage students to use the native language. Involving students in classroom routines and processes. Here, teacher can actually involve students in classroom maintenance processes, in classroom routine, in classroom cleanliness processes, in maybe administrative processes as well, in managing study materials. So by involving the students in such kind of activities, you can actually give them confidence. They are going to establish a relation with the teacher and they're going to interact with you. So all these activities or all these routines and rules which I have shared with you, these are really very helpful for the managing of the class of our young learners. Now, using a daily routine as a language practice, now I have shared here monthly calendar, weather chart, and a daily schedule or agenda. You can use all these activities as a language practice. You can just integrate all these study materials into your class and use them as a language practice. Next, how to make listening active for your young learners. English language classroom is an enormous opportunity for your young learners to practice listening. This is basically the only source of communication between your students and you. So whatever you are going to give them instructions, you are going to give them demonstrations, and this is all going to be a listening input. So as a teacher, it is very important for you to prepare classroom language. Prepare instruction and explanations, use simple words and phrases, be ready to repeat and rephrase. Another thing which is assumed about listening skill is that it is passive skill. But here you can make listening skills active for your students by adopting certain ways. Remember, whatever listening activity you are going to do in the class, but it should be followed by a listening task. Like here, always give your young learners a listening task. For example, if you are teaching to your students about body parts, then ask them to point your feet, to point your eyes, to point your head, or you can ask them to draw. You can ask them to draw a circular body. You can ask them to draw a square body, to draw two legs, to draw an eye. So in this way, you can check their comprehension, that either they are getting it or not. But always remember that listening should be followed by a task. Remember, children are not only learning to listen, rather, they are also listening to learn. So, whatever task you are going to use in your listening class, it should be meaningful. It should has a purpose. Students should learn from that listening activity as well, apart from listening skill. Now here we are going to talk about some do's and don'ts in speaking class of young learners. Do's and don'ts in speaking class. Basically, I have already told you, like our students, they have only chance to practice their speaking skills or any skill of English language only in their class. So here, first important thing for the teacher is that to create a comfortable environment in the class, so the student may feel comfortable. Comfortable hona and confident, that is very important thing for the students. Don't correct student errors explicitly. Here it is very important that whatever the activity is going on, if the students speak the wrong structure, then correct their errors. Don't correct their errors explicitly. Make posters with expression language you want them to use. Here you can make posters in your class, you can paste them in your class. So students, whenever they find difficulty in speaking, they can use those posters and express their views. Teach them classroom language chunks. You can teach them certain language chunks which they can use in the class, like I don't understand, can you repeat that? What page is it? I have a question. I need help, please. What does that mean? How do you say blank in English? By teaching these chunks to the students, they are going to get a little confidence. They are going to speak with a relaxed tone. So in this way, by teaching them these language chunks, it is going to be helpful for the young learners. So remember two things. Create a comfortable environment in your class. The students may feel confident, and don't correct their errors explicitly. Rather, find some other friendly ways so the students may not feel embarrassed and may not lose their confidence. Now, how to make young learners to read and write independently? This is, like I have already said, social interaction and appropriate scaffolding is really very important. Because appropriate scaffolding is very important for the literacy skill. This social interaction and appropriate scaffolding, these two ideas actually laid foundation for a instructional approach which is called to, with, and by approach. Reading and writing to students, reading and writing with students, reading and writing done by the students. Reading and writing to students mean here teacher is going to model the writing and reading process. Teacher is going to model or scaffold the process in a best way so the students can follow appropriately. And in the next step is that reading and writing with students. Here, students and teachers, they are going to work collectively, and they can involve in certain activities, and they are going to write collectively, they are going to read collectively. But here, students should realize that that most of the responsibility is on their shoulders now. Reading and writing done by students. Here, students are going to work independently. For this purpose, teacher can establish or develop literacy centers, literature circles, and research projects. When I say literacy centers, it means that establish a corner in your classroom for the reading purpose, where you can keep the students' favorite books, you can keep colored pencils and papers, so the students may draw the characters or write about their favorite characters. So this is going to be literacy centers. Literature circles mean where the students, they are going to sit in the groups, they are going to discuss the book which they have read. So in this way, they are going to share their ideas and they are going to develop their speaking skills as well. Research projects. Research projects can also be really effective for the written purpose. For example, if the students, they have read a book, they have read their favorite storybook, now you can ask them to draw the character and to write few lines about that character. In this way, you can actually check their writing skills as well. So this is very important that overall scaffolding and social interaction should be there to develop literacy skills of the students step by step. Here are some useful links for English language teachers. Basically, all these links are related to teaching English to young learners, and they are really useful. You can find them on the American English website. And remember one thing, all the learnings which I have shared with you, this is going to be useful for you only when you are going to implement them in your class. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Humera, for such an interesting webinar where you shared your knowledge from the online course with the wider community. If you have any comments, questions, and or suggestions, please feel free to write us on eteacher@evolution.com.pk. If you are one of the alumni or alumnus of the eTeacher program and would want to present in this eTeacher webinar series, please write to us on the same email address with your topic and content that you would like to present on. Until then, we wish you happy teaching and happy learning.